I have a great story for you. I have lived a life of discovery, confusion, sadness, pleasure, good and bad food, bad and good touch, and sexually transmitted disease. I have a lot of experience when it comes to life. The things I wanted to share with you are the things that had affected me most, for better or worse. My focus now is how can better nurture myself and other. As most of us know, nurturing comes in many forms. How we eat, how we communicate with the other, and how we receive and give touch. Growing up, I had a very intense life, full of abuse, and not knowing much about what was the right or the wrong. I didn't know about the meaning of life. My reality was all about surviving, and every day was a new life. I guess I truly was living the unpleasant present. I did indeed survive with a lot of luck, and by meeting people who truly cared about me and giving me the nurturing I never recalled receiving in the past. The way we grow up affects us in many ways, from negative to positive, but we have the power to create our own happiness and the happiness of others by taking full responsibility of our action with self-respect, awareness, and kindness. Giving is the key. What is the meaning of life? If we just think of ourselves only, life becomes flat, and as a human being, we depend upon and need each other. Before I prepared my speech, I was talking with a person, and he asked me what I was planning to discuss in this presentation today. I said, I would like to talk about food, touch, and STD. And he asked me, what those three things has to do together? So I explained to him the relationship. In order to nurture others, we must nurture ourselves first. Our body needs to be fed, and the better we feed it, the better we feel. For example, tasty food is not necessarily healthy. There is so much food out there that gives us pleasure in the moment, but it's very bad for us. Our body and mind start to feel unhappy. The solution for avoiding such unpleasant result is that we must pay attention to how we feed ourselves. This comes down of developing a healthy routine by incorporating in our diet the right ingredients that are grown properly with respect of nature. I will guarantee that once you follow the new health routine, after a short while, all the bad tasty food will no longer taste good to you, and your body and mind will automatically start to feel nurtured. Try this for a week or two, and you say that I am right. Touch is another main ingredient in life. We can't live life without touch. I argue quite a bit about this. I had plenty of people telling me that touch is not as important as food, and so I disagree. I'm stubborn about this, but at the same time, I can see why one can think this way. Some of us experienced truly bad touch, such as rape, physical abuse, and bad sex, or some kind of touch that was not good for them. Touch is as important as a food. I do compare those two things quite often. Because the basic ingredients of life are food and touch, there is no life without those two elements. Such as with bad food, some of us sometimes get involved with someone just because we feel lonely and we crave physical and emotional touch. Because so, we make poor decisions. We pay the price later, and often we come to blame the other person. In this case, it's very important that we take full responsibility for our own action. Of course, we all make mistakes in life. Those mistakes are very important. We get to learn to make better decisions in the next encounter. So one of the biggest mistakes people make is that of repeating those mistakes over and over and over again. This becomes an addiction to being treated poorly and becoming a victim. This is what I call bad nurturing. And unfortunately, you can't nurture others unless we fully nurture ourselves. As I said earlier, the best ingredient of life are food and touch. Of course, there are many other things that go along to continue life. As we become adults, we enter different stages in life, such as sexuality. Sex is a wonderful thing. when it's done with the right match and with the right intention. So now here you are. You are eating healthy, you are giving and receiving good touch, and you might think this is enough and everything is great. That's true, but in some cases it's not. It really is not. We also need to talk about STD, which is easy to talk, but it's hard to ask. And more than anything, it's almost impossible to say, I have STD. Unfortunately, STD are part of our life. And some of us is unfortunate to have, like me, I have the virus of herpes. Our role is to communicate with right away with the new mate, because when we don't, we're really going to pass it, like I did in the past. So now the good touch we are giving becomes damaging to the other. Good touch comes in with honesty, and in order to succeed we must say it. It's very important to get over the fear of being rejected, but it's also a tool of finding out more how the other person feels about you. I'm a person who's brutally honest when it comes to this, because in the past, when I was dating a lot, I didn't want to pass my HSV again, and on top of that, I didn't want to get another STD. I believe if I did not have HSV, I wouldn't have learned to communicate the way I do. I would be less safe, and I would have a bigger chance of getting something worse. I did get rejected a few times, and often my romantic partner confided in me that they also had STD. Almost all the time, I gained more respect, appreciation, and I felt really good about myself. Nurturing is not only making others feel good or love somebody, also it's protecting them and yourself. For your happiness and the happiness of others, please respect your body. Eat well, make love, and communicate. Thank you very much.